Welcome to Computing with Cashman. All right, welcome back to Python Basics, and we are going to take a look at something absolutely essential in Python, which is operators. And there's a variety of these that you should be familiar with. Some of them are our absolute most basic, right? As we take a look here in my Colab, I have some very simple arithmetic operators, right? You're probably very familiar with these from math, right? We've got addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, modulus, and we'll go ahead and test these out in our notebook here, right? So something to take note of, and we're going to come back to this here in a moment. X is equal to 10, y is equal to 5. I'm going to go ahead and print this out, just a simple addition operator, and in fact, right, 10 plus 5 is 15. All right, we'll do the same thing for subtraction, right? X minus y, multiplication, right? That gets us out to 50. That's 10 times 5, and then division. This is actually particularly interesting here in Python 3, is that it actually prints out 2.0. Right, so that's interesting. We'll come back to that point here in a moment. But if I use one division sign, right, we get 2.0. All right, now as we continue on here, we get into something called modulus. Now I've actually gone ahead and generated two examples here just to explain this. Right, we're trying to figure out what the remainder is with modulus. So if I print this out, x modulus y, right, that's to say 10 divided by 5. There is no remainder, right? The answer to that would be 2. But if we do something like 10 modulus 4, we do end up with a remainder of 2 in this case. Right? You can do the same for exponents. And then coming back to the division operator I shared earlier, if we do x divide by y, we now truncate. We no longer have that floating point at the end. All right, so these are all of our basic arithmetic operators, and something else that's going to be imperative, especially as we utilize our data structures or simple data structures, setting variables, something we're going to need is going to be an assignment operator. We have a variety of these, so you'll see and notice here that many of the arithmetic operators that we've already introduced are also able to be leveraged here with our basic assignment operators. Okay, so we've already used one earlier on, as we demonstrated. X was equal to 10 earlier. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and set x is equal to 1, and y is equal to 1. And now I'm going to set x, right? So in this case, I am setting x to plus equal y. So the variable x is now going to be 2, right? And we'll continue on here. We'll go ahead and give a couple more examples. Right? X is again, I'm going to reset these variables because in our notebook, right, currently our notebook thinks that x is equal to 2. So I'm going to reset this variable to 1. Right? X minus equals y gets us to 0. Right? 1 minus 1 is in fact 0. So x is now equal to 0. And we do the same thing here with our multiplication operator as well. So I'm actually going to go ahead and reset the variables to 2. X is equal to 2 and y is equal to 2. And what would we expect to come out? Absolutely, 2 times 2 is 4. And we'll do one more with division here. And I'm going to set x equal to 6, y equal to 2. And when I divide this, divide equals 2, right, we end up with 3.0, right? 6 divided by 2 is 3. Okay, we can assign values to our variables as such. And the next thing that we might want to do as we're iterating through our data structures, whether that's simple variables or lists, is to take a look at Python comparison operators, right? And this is now providing us the ability to generate some logic, right? Having the ability to compare two different values. Okay, so keeping it simple here, right? We've got our equals operator, not equal to, greater than, less than, greater than or equal to, and less than or equal to, right? So taking a look at this, we're going to continue on with x is equal to 6 and y is equal to 2. And now we're going to use some other methods here, right? We're going to use an if statement. Okay, so I haven't introduced this yet, but if x is equal to y, we're going to print this thing out here. We're going to go ahead and say that they are the same. But if they're not the same, we have an else statement here. This is going to take effect. Right? If they're not the same, we're going to print false. Okay, so if I run this cell, we in fact output false here. Okay, so in this next one, we're taking a look at our next operator. Right? If x does not equal y, right, we will print they are in fact the same. Otherwise, or else, we'll print false. And here we see they are indeed the same. Right? Then we go ahead and we're going to compare x to y with greater than. So again, taking a look at the simple arithmetic, is 6 greater than 2? Right? So if x is greater than y, we're going to go ahead and print x is greater than. In fact, that's what we end up with here. Now, we're not going to reset the variables again here, or we're not going to change anything, so x is still 6, y is equal to 2. Now, if x is less than y, right, same thing, we're going to say it's greater than, otherwise, or else, we'll print false. Okay, so here's our challenge for you today, is to go ahead and implement an if-else statement, doing a comparison, leveraging the greater than or equal to and the less than or equal to operators. All right, thanks for joining for this foundational topic, doing operators in Python.